welcome back to another video, and today I will be doing a collective makeup review for September. So welcome back, and today we are doing my sort of, I think again, long overdue review for makeup products that I have been trying out in the couple of, I think, well, some of these I've actually tried doing maybe already like July, so we are like very overdue for a collective makeup review. And as always in this video there will be only other makeup items except eyeshadow palettes. So for eyeshadow palettes I think I will be getting to do my video I think next week, so there will be a separate video for eyeshadow palettes. And also I recently did do a collective review for the P. Louise products that I hauled during the summer, and that video included both the eyeshadow palettes and all the other P. Louise makeup products that I hauled during the summer and have tried now, so those also will be excluded from this video. But I do say that this video mostly we will have the Essence and Catrice fall edit stuff that I bought and have been trying out, and then a couple of other bits also. But let's now get to the products, and as always all the products will be listed in the description box with the shade names if it's applicable, and also there will be timestamps, so this will be, as always, there will be base products, cheek products, lip products, and then lastly we will have some eye products. But let's now get to the products. So firstly, base products, and actually we are having a decent amount. First let's actually go through a pressed powder that I'm almost out. So I have been using the pressed powder that I've been using is the Maybelline Fit Me powder, so it's this one, and as you can see this is almost like I'm out of this one. I do know for some this seems to be a holy grail pressed powder. I think it's an okay powder. I think especially for the summertime when I don't want to have a loose powder which tends to be a bit more like a heavy duty product to sort of help with the oiliness of my skin. So for summertime this was a pretty good choice in terms of powdering, but I don't think it's like anything exceptional in terms of pressed powders. But if you're looking for a pressed powder on drugstore, this could I mean be a good option. It didn't do anything also like make anything look cakey or make my skin look dry, but I do think it held the oiliness like relatively well. However, I do think the result also depended quite a lot on what kind of foundation I was wearing in combination with this one. But if you're looking for a decent drugstore pressed powder, this is an option. Then let's get to the first of the Catrice fall edit stuff that I've been trying, and this was actually also, I do have a first impression video, so if you want to see my first thoughts about the Catrice and Essence fall edit products that I bought, I certainly didn't buy all of them because there's so many, but I did have a whole face in that one. But first one that I will be talking about is this one. So this is the Bright and Blur, and this was the pink powder that Catrice came out with. Certainly something that if you're someone, for example, like me, who's in their 30s and maybe their under eyes aren't as smooth as they were once they were, for example, in their 20s, don't do what I did in the first impression video and try to like bake with this one unless you really suffer from an extremely oily skin. I have an oily leaning skin. My oiliness has definitely been age has helped in terms of the fact that it's not as oily, for example, when I was a teen, but with my under eyes, with the way my skin currently is, I wouldn't do the baking stuff. But I have after the video used this as a sort of like, I'm trying to like maybe, hopefully it doesn't come out because there should be, the powder color looks like this one. It didn't oxidize too badly under my eyes, so it was actually, because I was initially afraid when I saw how pink this was that okay, it's gonna oxidize and look super dark under my eyes, but actually now that I've just put some thin layer with my powder under my eyes after I have sort of done my other base products, I do think it's a quite nice loose powder. I wouldn't necessarily recommend using this all over your face unless you have a very pink leaning undertone. I have a rosy, cool skin tone with a cool rosy undertone, but it's not like that pink that I could use this as a loose powder all over my face. But for under my eyes, I do think this has been like quite decent. Then I think a surprising favorite. So from Essence's fall products, I got one of the correctors. So this is the Correct and Conceal, and this is the peachy corrector, which is meant to help with the sort of the dark under eyes if you have a fair to light skin tone. And I would actually like recommend this one if you're looking for a corrector. I'm gonna like swipe a little bit on my hand so you can kind of see the color. First of all, the formula of this one is very nice. So it is not, because I was initially thinking that is it gonna be too much when I first layer this one, then I will have my concealer and then I will have my foundation. But actually this is a very smooth formula in terms of the fact that you can actually like first layer this one, then you can do your powder, sort of normal concealer, foundation and powder, depending what kind of course, how much you want to layer your products. But this really doesn't disturb the products you put on top of it. The formula is very smooth, it blends out very well. I would recommend to get the full sort of brightening impact and sort of the cancelling out impact of dark under eyes with this one. So I would apply this with fingers, because I did notice when I first tried a sponge with this one, I felt that the sponge took quite a lot of the product away. So to sort of get the maximum effect of this one, I would recommend just dab it, like spreading it out with your fingers, and you don't really need a huge amount. And I do think this actually cancels out dark under eyes, at least for me, very well. So this actually might be a product that I might actually repurchase once I use this one up. So then another product that I really think it was good that I tested this out longer. So this is the Invisible Cover Foundation by Catrice, and this is something that they have been now advertising quite heavily, because I do think this might be now the sort of new foundation that they really want to like have as a top seller on their line. I did already mention this in the first impression video that it is quite it is quite like gloopy when you put this on. This is the foundation that I'm currently wearing and that I've been wearing in my last few videos. I think my end conclusion is that I do like this foundation. I do think it's a good matte foundation, but this is really a matte foundation, so if you suffer from dry skin, don't buy this. The longevity of this is also very good, and with my own skin, because I do have already a bit of texture on my skin, I would advise that if you have an oily skin that has a bit of texture, then I would use a smoothing primer underneath this one. I do think that this benefits very much from a smoothing primer if you're someone like me who already has textures, for example here and in this area, and also in the like top part of the cheek area. So that kind of makes this go already like much smoother. Also, something else, I rather would use a sponge with this one. So if you get this and first use a brush and think that the brush is making this look like too cakey, then use a sponge. And I do think with a sponge and with a smoothing primer, this has been a very nice looking foundation. And as I said, the longevity of this one is very good. So this is for those of us who need a more matte leaning foundation. If you have a dry skin, please stay away from this one. But yeah, those were all the base products, and let's now actually go to the cheek ones. So for the cheeks we're having quite a bit. Let's now maybe first go again the non-Essence and Catrice stuff, and then the sort of ones that I had for the fall edit. So this is already something that it's been a quite long time when I first tried this one, and this was in my rotation. So this is the NYX Buttermelt bronzers, and it took quite a while for these to become available in my country, and we just recently had the blushes launching. I haven't yet bought the blushes, but those just came to our stores quite recently. So, and because I am not buying that much makeup this month, I might as well just wait for next month and then get one of the blushes, because I'm not that much in a hurry to get a new blush. But the bronzer, I took the fairest shade, so the fairest shade was, I think, BMB01 Buttercup was the shade name, and I'm actually gonna now just swatch it in the back of my hand so you can see how it looks. I think if you have watched any reviews of this product, you already know this is a very pigmented, like this is the fairest shade, and I have to be very careful when I use this shade. Like I really wish they would have maybe gone even a shade lighter from this one. The formula is very smooth, it's very nice to blend, it doesn't go like streaky or patchy, but just be aware that if you're someone who has fair skin like I do, you really have to go quite lightly even with the fairest shade that the line has, so that's just something to consider. But I do give a credit, it's a nice formula, and I do think this is one of the better products I have tried from NYX. Then let's maybe go through some of the Moira products that I got, and these again, it's been like I tried this during the summer. I have already reviewed one of the eyeshadow palettes that actually made it in my last eyeshadow palette video, so that just shows how long it's been that when I used it. First one that I'm gonna show is this one. So this is the Dreamlight highlighter, and this is in the shade 01 Dreamlight. So I think I did discuss, because again from the Moira products I do have first impression video on my channel. It's been a quite while since I uploaded that one, but if you really have to like a beaming highlighter if you buy this. So if you don't like a super shining highlighter, then I would skip this one. This is how the sort of, I don't know how the light is catching the reflex, but it is very very blinding highlighter. I don't feel that this was like too glittery. If you got really close, then you could see the individual sparkles, but I do think this is still a highlighter that I am like able to use without thinking that it looks like it looks dry, or it looks like that I have just individual sparkles on my cheek. But if you like your blinding highlighters, I do think this is a good option because it does look relatively smooth, and I didn't feel the application was difficult or anything. So, and also these aren't that expensive. So if you like your blinding highlighters, this is a good formula. Next, the blush that I got. So this is the cream blush, and this is in the shade 06 Miss You, and these are in the Loveheat cream formulas, and these were a bit more difficult to open. So again, and this is a very sort of an hot pink. It doesn't look this pigmented when you spread it out, but that's how it looks like on the skin. How should I describe this formula? I don't think this is a formula that I necessarily need another shade of. I do think that this went on quite well and it was relatively easy to blend, but this wasn't also the most, how should I say, blendable blush formula that I have ever bought. And considering that quite many of these shades do pack quite a lot of color, I would then wish that the product would be relatively easy to blend. So I think it's an okay liquid or cream blush formula, however you wish to describe this, but it's not something in this just doesn't maybe compare to some of the other favorite formulas that I have in cream and liquid blushing. But it is still a very good formula for the drugstore, and if you like Moira's products in general, I don't think you can go wrong picking one of these up. But I don't think this is something that you should run in store and get immediately, because I do also think that there might be other and much better cream brush formulas also in the drugstore category. But still, I do think the hot pink color was quite nice, but I would have wished that this was maybe a bit more easier to blend out once you get this to your cheeks. Then let's get to now I have the cream blush all over my fingers, just a minute. So, the Essence and Catrice Fall Edit products, and also, wait, we only have, only with the cheek products I had with only Essence products. So first one is this one, which I had quite high expectations for. So this was the Baby Got Bronze liquid bronzer, and I do think they came out with a 6 shade of this all together. And I was quite impressed with the blush formula of this when they brought the blushes on the sort of spring edit this year, but how should I say? This also, considering that I have the 10 Sweet Shadow, this is I think meant to be the fairest shade, and I'm just gonna put a little bit to the hand again so you can see this is how the shade is looking like. And this should fit me because this has a cool undertone, and I was thinking that this is gonna be perfect. But you have to be, this again is similar I think to the next bronzer that I showed, except this is a cream formula obviously, that you have to be very careful even though this is the fairest shade in the line. So I noticed that when I got too heavy-handed with this one, you can especially see it in the first impression video, that it looked very muddy and it looked kind of patchy on my cheek. So on a fair to light skin tone, I would be very careful with the amount of product I initially go and apply, because with this one, if you had too much, it didn't look quite nice. When I tried this out more, then tried this out more and was more put less product first, then I got a very nice smooth blend on my cheeks. But with this one, again, be careful if you have a fair or light skin tone how much you apply initially, because with this one, if you layer too much of it, it really doesn't look nice, at least on my skin. It didn't, at least on my particular skin tone. So I think my end conclusion about this one, because I do have to watch out a bit how much I use, so not a favorite, but something that I will still keep in my collection, because I do think this is I do like the sort of shade undertone. The shade match when I get the right amount is actually pretty good, and the formula is pretty good. I just have to be a bit careful with this one. Then 2 products that I didn't have too high expectations, but I think one of them actually proved to be an okay, and one I'm still thinking that wasn't the right. So I got these ones from also Essence, and these are the Are these also Baby Got? Yeah, okay, so these are also Baby Got blush, and I believe this is Baby Got Holo. I think my Holo Glow is the highlighter's name. First, let's talk about the blush. So with this one, again, I think I made the mistake in my first impression video. So this, what was the shade of this? Was Cherry something, if I don't remember. Incorrectly. Why aren't... Oh yeah, so this is 501 Cherry Baby was the name of this shade. A beautiful shade. And with this one I did the mistake in my first impression video that I went straight and applied it to my cheek, and that was like, we had quite a lot of issues. With this one, to get an even layer, do what I do usually with my cream products if it's possible. So first apply some to the back of your hand, and then with the brush pick up some product, and then you get a nice even layer to it, and then it looks like a... Then there isn't like pat, because I had the issue that when I applied this directly to my skin that it clung to some parts of my cheeks, and it kind of made the product apply pretty patchy. So with this one, first apply it to the like back of your hand, and then pick it up with a brush, and then you will get a nice smooth layer. I'm not so sure if you have a medium or deeper skin tone, would it then actually be better to get the maximum pigment that then you just apply it straight to your cheeks. But I found it that when I did the applying it straight to my cheeks, then I noticed that I did have blending issues with this one. But so with this one, I would say that start with thin layers and then build it up to get a sort of even and smooth layer. But I do like the shade, and this is actually like a very pretty, like I think especially when we are going more to the fall, this is a very nice deep cherry shade. And now the cap is somewhere, and I'm gonna pick it up after we have filmed. So next one, a product that I'm still not a fan of. So this is the Holo Glow highlighter, and I think this was in the shade... Yeah, Holy Apricotly was the name of this one. And I'm still gonna say what I said in the first impression. This is very, very much like Vaseline with a glitter, on at least on my like cheeks. I can put some here. The orange shift, it might be visible when I have it just on my hand, but I don't think when you have this over your sort of blush on your cheekbones, then the sort of orange... then the shift I think is a bit more golden leaning rather than being orange, but this is just not a product like for me. I think if you're a preteen or maybe a teenager, then you will like something like this, but for me I just felt that I have liquid highlighters and cream highlighters in other formulas that I feel like look much nicer and just have a more like better end result. So this just wasn't for me, but if you sort of like this sort of holographic glowing effect on your cheeks, then this could be something to try. I do think I will have to give this credit. The longevity of this was much better. I didn't feel that I had the issue that I applied this in the morning and then all of it was gone, because I was a bit afraid because of how sort of creamy this feels, that it's not gonna settle down, but it does luckily settle down a little bit when you get it on your sort of skin, so it did actually last relatively well, but this is just not a formula that I like. But yeah, altogether I'd say with the cheek products we had maybe some winners and then maybe not so many winners. But let's now actually next move to the lips. So with lips we have two products, and these are actually very similar. Now that I have them in front of me, I just realized that I might have bought the same thing twice over, just in different kind of with the two different brands. So first one is the lip product that I had in the Moira video. So this is the Moira, and I have to look at the shade. So 20 Blushed is the name, and this is their sort of glossy, very glossy looking lipsticks, and this is how the shade is looking, and I'm actually gonna again put some in my hand, and this is how it looks. I do like this formula. I do think if you're looking for this more sort of a glossy pigmented lipsticks, and this truly will go pigmented on your lips. So with this one, what especially surprised me is that how much pigment you got at the first go, because I was thinking initially that it's gonna first apply a bit more sheer, but this actually builds immediately, so just a fair warning if you buy one of these. But feels very nice on the lips, doesn't of course last too long, so if you eat or drink you will obviously have to reapply this. But I did like the formula of this one, especially during the summertime when I'm usually more into the sort of glowy, glossier lips. So it's a nice lip formula, and again these aren't too expensive, so if you like this kind of lipstick then would recommend. Then a product that I think I'm actually gonna swatch beside just to see that how close did I pick two colors. So these are the Catrice lip balms, and they are called lip balms in the fall edit, and I believe this was called Care in Colors Lip Balm, and what was the shade? Wearing glasses might help. Yeah, so this was 040 Hot Take was the shade name, and I'm actually gonna show again this one. This is how it looks like, and I'm actually gonna swatch it right beside the... So this is the Catrice. So the Catrice lip product isn't as pigmented from the get-go, but this also, at least with these deeper shades, also will get, especially if you have fair skin, these will definitely show up. Unfortunately, thinking that this is actually named lip balm, this actually does get drying after a couple of hours of wearing. And I know that in the first impression video I said that this felt very hydrating and nice on the lips, and it did feel initially, but I noticed, and especially after this was in my 2-week rotation, that even though this is a lip balm, if you wear this for a long time, your lips are, for some reason your lips will start feeling dry. I don't know, is it related to the fact that the balm layer of course will wear off when you just like talk and if you take a glass of water or something. The color does stay, I think, a little bit, so I don't know, is this actually meant to be one of those sort of like... sorry. Is this meant to be one of those kind of more like Korean type of lip products that initially have a sort of balm layer but actually leave a bit of a tint? I don't know, is it really the purpose of this one? But surprisingly, considering that this is a lip balm, this actually, after a couple of hours of wearing, didn't feel that hydrating. And this is now the second lip balm product with Catrice that I'm having issues with, because I had the sort of clicky pen lip balms in the spring edit, and I did actually end up decluttering that one also because I felt that, well, that one was very waxy and I didn't seem to get any product on my lips with that one. But also now with this one, this at least will show up, so this will definitely like show up on your lips, especially if you buy one of these darker colors. But just be aware that if you're thinking that this is gonna hydrate your lips all day, then necessarily don't maybe get these. Maybe look into the collection, to their like lip collection, and see is there maybe some other lip product that would be better for that one. But yeah, as I said, I ended up picking up two very similar looking lip products without maybe thinking that maybe I already had something. But the Catrice one, generally, I wanted to get one of the liquid lipsticks. I still haven't spotted the liquid lipsticks that were supposed to come with the fall sort of edit with the Catrice product. So I am still thinking that when maybe one day I will spot those somewhere, then maybe I'll just get one of the liquid lipsticks. But at least I got to try also some lip products from the Catrice's fall edit line. But yeah, those were about the like lip products, and now lastly let's get to the eyes. So eye products, and in this one first we're gonna start with mascaras, and I actually have two mascaras we're gonna be talking about. So with this first one you will see a picture because I've already like used this up and it's been like been a long time ago. And now I have to look from my phone what was the name of it. So the mascara first one is the Essence Lash Without Limits Extreme Lengthening and Volume Mascara. And I had quite high expectation for this because the one shape, it was this like bit triangle kind of shape, which seemed that it would actually fit because I do have a bit smaller eye size, that it would actually fit nicely, so it's not too like big when I apply it to my lashes. But I do feel that this was more of a curling and lengthening mascara rather than volumizing mascara. I felt that to get any volume I really had to go layering this, even when the sort of because with mascaras you usually have to wait for the formula to age a bit to get the best of it. So with this one, even after like 3 weeks of using it, I still felt that I had to do quite a lot of work to make this mascara work for my lash type. So if you're someone who looks for curling or a sort of an separating and lengthening mascara, this could be good, but not for someone who likes their volume. So not something I'm gonna rebuy, but I was like, I at least got to try it, and because it was an Essence mascara, it wasn't that expensive. Then the second mascara that I have actually been wearing, and this is again from the Catrice Fall Edit stuff. So this is the Glam and Doll Lash Endless Mascara. So it's in a sort of purple pinkish packaging, and I'm actually gonna show. So it has a bit of a square, it's more of a square shaped wand, and this is a mascara that really needed patience. I actually do like it now quite a lot, but at the first 2 weeks of using this I was very much willing to throw this away, because the first impression when I tried this on the first impression video, I was thinking that it was promising. Then when I used it more during the last first 2 weeks, I realized that the formula was very wet. It was wet to the point that I had actually more mascara sticking to my sort of upper upper lids rather than to actually my lash, and I was like quite ready to throw this away, because I was feeling that I can't have a mascara where the product goes everywhere except to the lashes. Then after 2 weeks, because now the formula had started like drying down a bit, then this was actually starting to be good, and now I feel that the formula is like in the point where it's a bit more still a wet leaning formula, but it actually, first of all, now I don't have the messiness issues where I have the formula like going everywhere, but it actually like sticks to the lashes. And I do feel that this gives decently volume, but also length to my lashes, and I do actually like this quite a lot. Also, something maybe I should warn, if you have sensitive eyes, this has really like spiky plastic bristles. So the Essence mascara I was talking about before, that had plastic bristles, but those weren't like spiky. These are the kind of spiky plastic bristles, so if you hit your eyeballs with them, you will feel it. So just if you have sensitive eyes, be careful with this one. But I do actually like the one in terms of the fact that it is quite small, so I actually can get to the root of my lashes quite easily, and it does help in terms of like getting separation to my lashes. So with this one you might need a bit of patience. So as I said, for the first 2 weeks this can be a very messy mascara to use, but then when the formula dries down, this is actually a pretty good mascara that if you have the patience, I would actually recommend from Catrice. Then some brow products, and I usually don't talk about because I only do my brows for special occasions, which is video today. I have actually done my brows because I wanted to show these products in action. So the first one is a brow pen from Beauty Bay. I will put the whole name to the description box because I would have to go to my makeup Excel to look what's the name of this one, but this is how it's looking like. So it's not one of the sharpenable ones, but the retractable ones, and this is I think the top shade that they had in the line. I actually do like this. I was initially a bit afraid because these are quite thin, and I had some from other brands that they are so thin that they break down very easily. But with this one, actually, even though it's a thin applicator, it's actually like I haven't had the issue that it breaks down if I apply a bit more pressure. And I do think that if you're looking for a top like eyebrow product, like you can see the color yourself, I do think this matches quite well. And yeah, nothing much else to say. Brows aren't something that I get too excited about, but if you're looking for like a brow, I don't know what these are called, are they brow pens or what's the official name for this one, but I do think if you're looking for this type of a brow color applicator, it's quite of a good choice, and because it's Beauty Bay's own brand, it's not too expensive. Then something that I should have checked beforehand, that is this actually like a brow gel, because apparently this is a lash gel, and this explains why I felt that this doesn't do much as a brow gel. So this is the W7's Crystal Clear, and this is actually advertised as a clear true mascara. So I don't know what you would like, what is the purpose of this kind of product, because if you want to add something to your lashes, then you just go to a mascara, because this will just apply some gel to your eyelashes. But it's, for example, if you're someone like me who has a fair eyelashes, then I don't just get what the purpose of this one. If you happen to buy this as a brow gel, unfortunately this doesn't do a lot. My brows, even though I do actually have quite nice brows in terms of the fact that I usually don't do anything with them, so they have been free to grow. So in terms of the fact that, surprisingly so, my brows aren't also unruly, so actually I don't need like a too heavy kinda, because I know some people need a very heavy duty brow gel to keep them in place, but for me this is like something that you can feel when you touch it, that it really feels that I don't actually have any product on my brows. So if you happen to buy this accidentally for brow gel purposes, then just be aware that this is actually meant for your lashes. But I'm just not seeing the purpose of having a see-through product to your lashes, because I don't feel this also does anything particularly. Yeah, so the last product is a bit of an exceptional product, but I was thinking that should I put this to the eyeshadow palette video, but then I'm thinking that, well, this isn't technically an eyeshadow palette, so I will review them here. So for the traveling purposes for summer, I bought 3 of Kiko Milano's these sort of eyeshadow pencils, yes, and I have a shorts in my channel which actually did relatively well. And the shades I have are 0 to 15 and 60 are the shades, and I'm actually gonna show the ends here. And I'm actually gonna now quickly show. So first I'm gonna swatch the 02, and then with this one I have to be a bit careful because I actually the product is loose in the tube. Then I'm gonna go with the 6. No, sorry, it was the a moment. So actually we're first gonna discuss something that has been really bugging me about Kiko's products lately. So if you remember, I last year had the issue when I bought one of the quads in their store from Brussels, that the quad separated from the pan separated from the compact, and I actually ended up decluttering it because I was thinking that I'm not gonna like have a broken makeup item in my storage. Then this summer when I got the summer collection, and within that summer collection I had the contour and highlighting double-sided stick, and I mentioned that the highlighter stuff, the highlighter part also came loose from the tube, and with the eyeshadow stick we're having a bit of a similar issue. And this is now something that has happened with Kiko products that have been like relatively new in my collection. So it's not the fact that I have had them a long time or I've been like sort of doing something like crazy with the products, that they've been just in my sort of, I have gotten them home and then they've been on my makeup box. So I think with this one I can say that Kiko, I do get it that it's not a like high-end brand, but it's for a drugstore brand also not the cheapest one. And I have had like plenty of cheaper makeup products that I don't have this kind of issue, that from new products I have the products like falling off from their applicator. So anyway, the shade that's loose is the shade 6T, and now I'm actually gonna see if I can get it back to the pen somehow. So yeah, but that's just something I like to say, because now I'm feeling that it's no longer just that I had one individual product, because now within like a year I have had like several with the newer Kiko products that the packaging isn't just like a top, that the packaging isn't up to par, because I haven't had this kind of issues with, as I said, with a lot of more cheaper products. And then the last shade was the 15, which was the deepest shade. So these are all the shades, how they're looking swatch. I'm actually gonna also pop out the picture of the eye look that I did with these ones, so you can kind of see how they look on the eyes. But yeah, about this, so if we like forgo the fact that the packaging with these, with Kiko's packaging, you clearly have the risk of getting the package, some of the products breaking down when, even if you have just gotten the product recently. If we ignore that one, I do say for cream eyeshadow pencils, these are actually pretty good in terms of longevity. Something I would recommend, don't use a primer. Usually I would recommend using a primer with eyeshadow, but with these ones, don't use anything underneath. Just make sure your lids are like clean and there's nothing like underneath them. But with these ones, because they are cream products, just apply them directly to your eyelids. And these are the kind of product that will settle down a little bit. And I will have to credit these, that the longevity of these is very, very good. And as someone especially who has a more creasy leaning lids, I was thinking that okay, are these gonna at some point of the day crease on me? But no, these stayed very put. I have had like powder shadows that don't last as well as these do. So with the warning of the fact that there might be some packaging related issues, these are still, I'd say, as a makeup product, these are very good. And considering that they only cost 11 euros a piece, if you're just someone who wants the sort of 1 or 2 easy eyeshadow sticks to use, these are the kind of like eyeshadow sticks that I would recommend if you have that sort of makeup preferences. For me, there is gonna be certain occasions that I will use them, and because the product you do actually, to get a opaque, like the maximum opaqueness, you do have to like layer quite a bit of these. So I do think this is also a product that I will be able to use up. But this is a product that I don't think I will be collecting that much, because eyeshadow palettes are still primarily my way that I like to apply my eye makeup. But if you're looking for something quick and easy at a drugstore priced, especially here in Europe, these are, in terms of longevity and quality of the product, if we ignore the packaging issues, these are very excellent. But yeah, that was actually the last products I had for this video. So those were all the sort of makeup products that I've been trying out. I do think if we would have to, I'm looking at what were my favorites. I'm gonna say the Essence Corrector, like that's like, because I was so skeptical about that, yeah, but, and because I have had some kind of, I think, corrector products I might have tried one of something like that like some years ago, but I wasn't too impressed, so I think I just ended up throwing like that away. But I think it was like a palette that had different correcting shades, but the Essence one, like, great. If you're looking for a corrector drugstore which has a very nice smooth formula that will sort of blend in with your other base makeup product, like, I would like go for those. And then with the Essence, they actually did have like, I think they brought out a peach one, there's a green one, and then I do think they also have shades for deeper skin tones. So yeah, something to look into. And also I do say that with the Catrice foundations, with a couple of like steps when I take them in my sort of makeup routine, I do like the finish of the Catrice foundation. But as I said, if you haven't dry skin, then maybe don't go towards that one. And yeah, maybe also the Catrice mascara, as I said, that the first 2 weeks with that one were a bit more difficult, but now I'm actually liking it quite a lot. I do think with the cheek products we were having, because usually there's been a lot, like, quite good winners in the terms of the cheek products. With those ones, I didn't feel that there was now anything, like, there were some good ones as you saw that I would say that if you're interested in, then go ahead and buy them, but also there wasn't anything super extraordinary that I would say that they stood out from the rest of the products that I tried. And the eye and lip products, like, the rest of them were like okay. Also, I don't think we had any, I don't think, well, the W7, like the gel mascara or whatever that was, that's maybe the only product I would say that, yeah, stay away from that one, because I don't think that just has any kind of like purpose. But other than that, I do think that the products, I think all the products were decent enough. Oh, and the Holo highlighter, of course, that's the one that I also maybe wouldn't recommend. But other than that, I do say we had quite decent products. Comment down below, have you tried any of these products, and if you have, what were your thoughts on them? If you liked this video, push the like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell button if you want to get notifications from my future content. You can also find me with the same nickname, Makeup Hedgehog, on Instagram. I hope I'll be seeing you again soon in another video. Bye bye!